Um, Good morning. So today I'm going to speak about DNA spaces. It's a new technology. Enfin, it's not a new technology. It's already alive and kicking for a couple of months already. For 1 year to be more precise. And it's actually coming from the CMX, Cisco Mobility Experience, but it has been greatly improved and greatly broadened. So basically, we have, my name is Loic Dursel. I'm a business development manager within Tech Data in the business unit Cisco. Working under Hedi Derav, who is also joining the call. So basically, we have a quite packed agenda because there is a lot to say about DNA spaces. So I will try to go over the many different slides as quickly as possible, but please don't hesitate to put your questions, preferably in the chat at the moment. I know Susanna Stans also working with us at Tech Data knows a little bit about the technology, so maybe she can help answering a few questions, but if she doesn't know it, no worries, I will take them later. And then we have a Q&A. So the idea is whenever I do a presentation, I like to play and I like to demo. So we'll try to reserve some time for the demo. Okay, so we'll go through the DNA spaces, the business value, and then we will go a little bit deeper on the DNA spaces apps, then the demo, and very importantly about the licensing, because I think there is a lot of untapped opportunities there. And then hopefully we'll have some time for Q&A. So I give the words to you, to the floor, with your questions. Okay, so let me kickstart. So first of all, wireless has been around for a very long time, and it's been around for a very long time. And but what if we would do much more than just connectivity? What if we could use it also as a sensor? That's actually the generation 2 with the analytics with RTLS. And then we are going gradually really much more than a sensor. We are going to use much more from the analytics and driving IoT and partners, and we see it as a gateway. Okay, so right now we are in between generation 2 and 3. But Wi-Fi is still considered very much as a generation 1 device, and that is wrong. We should actually go and step up with generation 2 and generation 3. Yeah, so next slide. I have some problems with my PC. Okay, so DNA spaces, so it's digitizing physical spaces in people, in things. So we can actually segment it in 3 types of flavors. The first flavors is the C, and the act and the extend. These are the 3 types of DNA spaces licensing bundles that you can see. But the C is actually it's all what you can get it from the tool right now, okay, and with some historical value as well. So how we can capture the information, okay, right now. So how many people are in the location? Are they close together? Is those people coming regularly, and so on, okay? Then we have to go on the, if we look a little bit more on the extend, is how you can extend this with other applications in other third-party applications. We can say, for example, ServiceNow, for example, but it's opening up the DNA spaces to other services, other types of services. And then on the third comes the act, okay, where you would actually create, you will have some tools to create, for example, portals, to create tools to help you to use the C, voilà, so portals, but reporting or via sending the information on a display and so on. So we'll go a little bit deeper on that later today. So oh, I went a bit too fast. So here we see that it can very much go very in depth. Huh? So you not only have the Wi-Fi, but basically it extends the DNA spaces, also extends to the Meraki APs and MVs, the smart cameras, the WebEx device. It also measures asset tags, PR, sensors, card tags, and so on. So how you can actually correlate all those information together into the DNA spaces. And then you have all those vertical app partners, among which, for example, IBM, which is also a partner at Tech Data, a vendor at Tech Data, so we can help with space optimization. MazeMap is an excellent tool for mapping and wayfinding and all of these. So those are the APIs. So how can you correlate and how can you work this information, these analytics, and you can also use app partners on this. Okay, so this is a very broad description on DNA Spaces Cloud. Now let's go a little bit deeper on what is DNA Spaces actually. Okay, so before we had indeed all those analytics, like I said, the IT department, the guest experience team, the operation team had a quite siloed and fragmented approach in getting the analytics. Okay, so we received the Wi-Fi device, the business infrastructure, business application, and we get some information really pointing on the analytics of the access points. Okay, but what if we could actually use also IoT sensors, BLE beacons, BLE asset tags? So all of these now, with this type of portal, with the DNA spaces, you can correlate everything. So you have business application with the Wi-Fi device, but also you can use BLE tagging, for example, for asset tracking, and all correlates into the same unique platform. Okay, so it's an open and unified platform. So providing you also, because it's a cloud-based solution, you have probably a connector on premise, but it's mostly cloud-based. So you have you can scale this very quickly and rapidly, a bit like Meraki. If you know Meraki, same thing. You can really scale quite quickly and deploy quite quickly the different solution. And you have really an end-to-end visibility. Okay. If we look a little bit at the three different solutions, the seed, act, and the extend, you have this single pane of glass across enterprise with rapid low-touch activation, easy translation, flexible licensing model. Because it's cloud-based and it's actually completely secure. You have this VPN tunnel, so it's SSL tunnel, making sure that the information is secure. You can definitely scale it very, like I said, scalable spaces connector for every deployment scenario, and then you can standardize compatibility and interoperability with all Cisco hardware, Cisco and Meraki and software. So, and also we can add the WebEx rootkit. So the WebEx device endpoints. So the WebEx rooms devices, or the room, just the displays that are supporting on WebEx. And you have this 24/7 monitoring and platform and app sales. So you can really trigger quite a lot of information there, okay? So as you can see, this is already a snapshot of what you would expect from the single pane of glass of the DNA spaces, with here location, monitoring, and support. And then you have, first of all, the digitization stats, and then you have these apps, the C behavior, and the act and the extent that are below. But what is important to note here is that, like I said, you have this rapid low touch activation under 30 minutes. And you can also use it really, use it like Meraki in many different sites. You can correlate all the information, multi and single site views of executives and property managers. So definitely use it, as and deployed and use the flexibility of the solution. Well, it's been around for a while now. Well, this site you can unfortunately it's only accessible for Cisco people, but we see that these are actually information from a month ago, so it's not that old. So we can actually rely on this information. So you see that it's been deployed for quite an extensive time, and quite a lot of information were gathered from the different deployments around the world. So a little bit deeper on how it works. Basically, the license, the DNA Spaces license, includes a small connector. And this connector makes sure that everything comes in together. Obviously, for the connector is not needed for Meraki devices, for example, because it will actually connect, the DNA Spaces will connect to the Meraki cloud. But other than that, you have this DNA Spaces connector that is included in the license. You don't need to pay extra. And then it collects all the information on WebEx devices, wireless controllers, Meraki MV cameras. This is done using the MQTT, but you see the arrow goes directly to the DNA Spaces with Meraki. And then the great thing is it's also you can use Aeronet devices as well, okay, from the Wi-Fi 5. Wi-Fi 5 access points are also supported, okay, so that's also possible. So what you get insights on Wi-Fi, room occupancy and finder, detect and locate, video and camera analytics, etc. So, okay, so. But the connector on the cloud is pretty important in this setup for Catalyst 9K, for example, setups or Aeronet setups. So you'll see this is an interesting slide as well. So here we have the legacy AirOS, so those are the Aeronets. Or the Catalyst 9800, which is the wireless controller for the new generation of Catalyst of the access points. Voila. And for small deployments and a subset of features, you could actually connect it with the wireless controller directly on the DNA Spaces, but it's for small deployments and for limited features. So actually, you will need a connector for larger for accessing the DNA space and then to have the full visibility of the capabilities of the DNA Spaces. Yes, so let's continue. So yeah, support and scales, powering up to 95,000 enterprise worldwide, has handled over 10 million of transactions per hour. Average platform uptime is the SLA is pretty high. So end-to-end deployment for a brand new customer location within 48 hours. So yeah, so support and scale is very strong. Interestingly, all the data that is being gathered is not not going into a data center of Cisco, but well on it's all hosted on Amazon Web Services. Okay, so it's actually part of the July acquisition. And these Amazon Web Services servers are located across the world, so also in Europe. So all the data that is being gathered are located and staying in Europe. And you have a do not forget capability as well. For example, sorry, do forget or forget me. Actually, being completely GDPR compliance. For example, if you can remove some information to be to keep on with the regulation on GDPR. And it's using this protocol, IAS 256, so as an SSL, to make sure that everything is really well secured. There is no leak, there is no possibility of leaking of information. Okay, I don't know what it is. But okay. Voilà, so very important here. Business value. What can we say? Operational efficiency and productivity. We can see and understand behaviors. So who are coming into my network, and is these people are coming on a regular basis and not, and how do they behave? Integrate and extend into the enterprise, enhance IT productivity, customer acquisition, and so on. So you see that the spectrum is pretty broad. I can hear someone speaking, so I'm going to mute you, Peter. I'm very sorry. Yeah, voilà. Okay, so voilà. So there are many use cases in the industry. You'll get the slides, so you will be able to look at it a little bit in deeper. But you see, you have in retail, in healthcare, in enterprise, in hospitality, in manufacturing, and education. But right now, what I think interests me the most is a very actual use case is get to work with business case. So how are we going to opening up again the offices and make sure that we are completely open in a safe way to follow the regulations of COVID-19. So you'll see the different types of questions that can raise into IT, HR departments, and so on. So how do you see my business is impacted and so on? So you have quite a lot of things there. For example, contactless employee experience, location analytics, operational efficiencies, and so on. So I'll go a little bit deeper on that. So how do we do that? We see we have something about social with the apps on the DNA spaces. You have something on the social density monitoring. So how many people are in the area, and then I can, with the ACT licensing, I can actually react on this and say, okay, I will stop the doors, I will put an alarm, I will send a signal to a screen or a display that alerts everyone that we cannot, we have to close the doors, for example. Location analytics, contactless experience. So actually by knowing who are coming into my network and who is actually coming, I can actually trigger also other signals with APIs and so on. Let's say that I don't need to open a revolving door. It will revolve by itself because I sense the person that is coming, or any other contactless experience you can think of. Okay, so you could actually, for example, make sure that the certain devices are connected to the Wi-Fi automatically and so on. So critical asset tracking, so understand where goes the peoples and so on. So You have here, the challenges in safety and compliance, location, contactless, operational. Voilà, so you have all those different challenges that have been assessed. And here we see the different apps that are being used. So again, in blue are the things we see in the C type of license. In the green, the extend, and then in orange, the act. So here is the workplace services teams. They are trying to reopen their campaigns and is responsible to roll out by prioritizing the safety of all employees. So he's going to use the Right Now app. So how many people are there? The density thresholds. So how much people can get into a room, and if there is anything happening there. Proximity reporting app. So with the geolocalization and the information, we can see if people are still maintaining a safe distance between each other or not, and so on. So quite extensive here. Same goes, and here you'll see the different apps. So we'll go on the demo, so I can show you a little bit later. The real-time metrics, what is happening at your location as it happens. So active visitors, total visitors across campus, etc. Okay, and then with the API trigger, you could send these types of alarms. So in this case, we can actually use this to send it via WebEx Teams. The threshold alert has been reached. Please halt entry on the new visitors, for example. Okay. And same goes on with impact analytics apps. So how many people are in my environment, and how long are they staying, and so on. But the one I like the most is this one. This is the proximity reporting app. So basically, we see actually, for example, if someone was infected by COVID, I hope nobody in the room has been infected or will be infected. But if it was the case, then we could actually see how many people were in my surrounding. And I have already the clients and the MAC address. I know which are, and I know the frequency, and I can actually address those people directly and say, can you please self-quarantine because someone near to you was infected by COVID. Okay, so very, very insightful proximity report in my opinion. Okay, so same with engagement app, location, and personal apps. You can basically send those information via some alerts, and voila. So, and then you come to this. I think you've seen those type of displays a little bit around or next to your supermarket. Well, you can actually do the same. Trigger this information to see, for example, what's the occupancy, the maximum safe occupancy, and voila. So you can trigger those information in there. Okay, so this is just a use case, but very useful use case. So I'll go a little bit, I'll pass the slides because we have quite a lot of things to cover yet, but you'll get the total slides at the end. Okay, so, but that's a full use case on business on COVID. Okay, so, well, there are business benefits. So these are also real use cases from Westfield. It's a supermarket, University of British Columbia. But there are quite a lot of use cases in Europe as well. If you're interested, I can provide you with use cases in Europe. So activate, rapidly activate DNA spaces to begin your digitization survey. And then scalable deployment, reduce TCO, best-in-class security with GDPR, superior performance, low latency, and so on. So this is around Activate. So now, a little bit deeper on DNA Spaces, the C type of license. What do I get in C? So you get behavioral metrics, understand visitors' behavior, benchmark performance between different locations. You can get an impact analysis, measure the impact of events, campaigns, layout changes, location behavior. Right now, understand behavior in real time. You can get some information on Meraki. So you visualize the footfall of the presence metrics from Meraki Vision. So here again, you will see the occupancy and all the analytics you'll get from the smart camera. Location analytics, filter and analyze people, detect and locate, and open rooming. So this is a contactless approach where you basically, you can actually open up the Wi-Fi or open up the internet without someone touching his phone, for example, or his device. And voila, so you get directly the extent. So this is where you can actually will export the data. This is how you can rework the data for other means. Okay, so you'll get this API, location API, streaming data exports, so big data, BI analytics, IBM software, like I mentioned before. Yes, and then you can also export it via to your DNA center as well. So there is some integration with your DNA center as well. Now, looking at ACT, ACT is okay. Yeah, ACT is the biggest type of license. So ACT actually comprises C and extend. I will go a little bit later on that as well. So here you will have all you can do for reworking the data. So to create some captive portals, profile and segment visitor based on location behavior, trigger notifications to visitors with the WebEx Teams app, for example, or I think you can also open up to Microsoft Teams with an API as well. Detect and locate MAC or IP address. Voilà, this is all the different things that instead of looking at your looking at the C of your DNA spaces, you can actually trigger and use this information and have extra tools to rework this information. Okay, so captive portals, location personas, and so on. So let's go and see a little bit in detail, but then I will go on a demo, so it's going to be more graphical for you. So here you'll see a behavioral metrics, so average visit duration, visitors across location, day per week, and so on. Okay, so get a deep understanding on site customer behavior across location, correlate location behavior with other data source. Voilà, voilà. The impacts. So here we'll see the impact of the events through the tool. So the attendance, how many people spend on a daily average basis, how long they're staying, the frequency of attendance. So measure the impact of events, gain visibility into events. Okay, so if that's very good for universities, schools, but also big environments. Bon, And eventually like a big auditoria at a company, at a company, so you can actually see how the people are coming back. Here with the camera metrics, it's really complementary with the Wi-Fi. We'll see also quite interestingly all entries of properties during the current month, for example. So you can actually sense, detect people, and actually have attach a number to it. Okay, so and the great thing is now is you can correlate this with the Wi-Fi, so you have a much deeper understanding of how many people are around. Take into account that sometimes the camera matrix is a very relevant information because it will detect people and not devices. Okay, so this is sometimes a bit tricky with Wi-Fi matrix because basically it will sense one phone. Some people have two phones, for example, and then one laptop, and then they could misguide you with the people detected. Obviously, for the DNA spaces, this is being taken into account. So, so they will actually look at the MAC address and the user, and to make a filter on that to make sure that we have the right number here. But the camera is pretty good. Okay, quite information. Height now metrics, so how many people are around at this moment, 10 hours back. So we get a real view, the current present at your location, and then you can actually merge this with other locations and so on. Voilà, and then you can use the act type with the right now, and then send a trigger. Voilà, trigger a density threshold, that many employees are around, and so on. Location analytics. So who are the visitors who has been actually coming back? So the dwell time. So understand the behavior, how long they'll be staying, and voilà. So gain visibility to behavior patterns. So you can filter by location, data range, and so on. Detect and locate. So you can also use floor maps. And these floor maps, you can actually export them as well via at DNA space, DNA center as well. So you can, they can actually work on both portals. There's access to different history API to access both real-time and historical data. Open rooming, so Wi-Fi guest access, Wi-Fi attach rate, voilà, on the Wi-Fi 6 or the 5G, voilà. All those captive portals are available on the ACT license with, you can map it to the CRM, loyalty systems. You can also work on with a wayfinding solution embedded also in the portal. So yeah, so you can expand your loyalty programs as well, saying, okay, if you join, if you put your data and then you agree on the GDPR regulation, I can maybe send you a newsletter eventually if you agree on that and so on. Yes, location personas, returning guests, frequent weekend visitors, restaurant visitors, multi-location visitor. So you can basically have quite a lot of information. You would see a bit of this type of info on the Meraki dashboard, for example, but this goes all directions. So it goes all, it can actually capture all this information, all different sites. Yeah, so you have a 360-degree view of customers and so on. Okay, so Engagement, trigger contextual multi-channel engagement based on the behavior of visitors. So you can trigger something. It can be SMS, an email, an app. So if you do this, do that, the famous IFTTT rules engine that you can actually use via the app of engagement. Proximity reporting, I was discussing on that before. Asset locator. So here you would actually, that's the IoT part, where you can use the BLE or the Wi-Fi tracking in some cases to track devices. Okay. So you can actually, you can partner. There is a big partner which is Stanley that has been working for a long time already with Cisco on that. Another third-party partner is Mesbap that I really like. That actually do excellent wayfinding solutions. Voilà, then you can use those Firehose APIs for partners that engage their business application with DNA spaces. Okay, so you can open it up with much more. So that's with the extend. Here, IBM Trirega, where you can actually use it for more spaces location or information location on spaces. Spaces availability and so on. You mentioned about the DNA spaces IoT with the asset tracking, but yes, so you have IoT end-to-end as a service offering with Wi-Fi 6. So it can go, very deep if needed. Voilà. So the demo. Okay. We are good with timing, I think. So voilà. That's how it looks like a little bit. So the DNA spaces, you see that you have this digitization app stats, for example, where we see the different locations, 33 locations. It can be, since it's cloud-based, it can be in multiple countries. It can, no problem whatsoever with that. Access points, so how many access points have been deployed. And this is all the location updates. So all the pings that have been collected on DNA spaces to gather the information in there. So that's the space that is being where the measure of the space that is being used, the number of visitors, and here the number of visits. Okay, 1 million visitors and visits. So first of all, you'll go here. That's the setup, and you see if you click on setup, you have still the former old CMX. If you still have CMX deployed, you can still connect it with the DNA spaces, and you have some information on how to connect with the CMX. But then you can also, but then you have less info with the Connect wireless controller. You can connect directly with the wireless controller from the Mobility Express, for example. Or the Catalyst 9800, but you have less info. So you have here the root certificates and here all the requirements how to make the setup correctly. What I would definitely suggest is to have this space connector deployed. It's free within the license. So you can have some, you can have a software based, but ideally you have the hardware for the on-premise solutions where you can have all those connectors that is being set up. So you have this configuration steps, systems requirements, and then you can definitely, if you have a Meraki environment, you can make the link with Meraki. So also here the configuration steps and how to open the API to make the link between the both portals. So that was about the setup. What is also interesting is here. So sorry, I'm going here. Voilà. And you have here home, location hierarchy, integration, monitor, admin management, IoT services, and setup. If you go on admin management, you can see all the people. You can add new admins and then select the roles of the different admins. So read and write. Okay, so this is one thing. And then you have location hierarchy. So here we will see all the different locations. And then we can go deeper and see, okay, how many devices or how many access points are deployed by location, tracking devices, and so on. Okay, so how many tracking devices? Then you can change the name, and voila. So if you click there, you have a trig, etc. that is being deployed. So location integrations, you see that you have ServiceNow, but you can have more integration, but you have also integration with DNA Center. Okay. Monitor. Here you will see if there are any location updates that is being up and running, or if you have any places where you have any interruption. Okay, so anomalies, controllers, and then latency of certain apps. Okay, so that's also very interesting. And then the setup, so the map services of wireless network, so you can that we've seen map services is actually where you can actually import the floor map and then you can place on the map. Bon, I don't have anything there. Yeah, I have. Voilà. So you have some maps around, and then you can tell where the different APs are located, so you have a better analytics there. So if we go back to the home page, it's very easy. You click on Cisco DNA Spaces. We see the different apps. So here, the C app, behavioral metrics, right now, and camera. And then if you click on one of the apps, you'll see the location, the visit duration. So how long they've been visiting on the location, across location. These ones are the top and bottom 3 locations, but you can pin the locations you want. So you can pin, let's say that you are interested in specific location, you can pin that. And then you can also pin, for example, the most important location. Okay, so, and then if you hover on one of the location, you'll see precisely which location it is. Okay. Again, here, distribution and so on. Okay, so that's about behavior. Right now, metrics. If you go there, you'll see also the same kind of thing. So historical average visitors, and you see it's the last 10 minutes. Okay, so right now, and then here in the last 51 weeks. So here, location, voilà, capacity. So you can see by the time it goes, and then here by location also. That's quite effective, quite interesting to see right now how was the occupancy in the various locations. Okay, so that's voilà, camera metrics. So here we will actually use the data from the camera. From the Meraki cameras, and you'll see that you have quite a lot of info as well. Hopefully, no, I don't have, yeah. But basically it gives you the footfall of the occupancy, voilà, the open roaming and so on. And then you have those impact analysis and then ACT captive portal. In the captive portal, you have great, you have a home screen, connect to Wi-Fi, and then event shop, and then voilà. So you can build your full portal from there. Okay, so you upload your image, feedback, get apps, and so on. So that's in the ACT license. Okay, so in the interest of time, I think I'm going to, unless there is anyone, I cannot see the chat right now, but unless anyone wants to see something in particular, feel free to unmute yourself. Otherwise, I will go back to the slides. No questions? Okay, so.
Nope.
Okay. It's a lot of info, so hopefully. I want to take a little bit of time on licensing because I think it's quite important. So to remember, we have these three tiers of license: the C, the ACT, and the extend. C, to how the people see things and behave on site. The ACT on inside through digitization and toolkit, and the extend the platform capabilities, integrate, and so on with other systems. So here you have, that's an important slide, is here you have the DNA space subscriptions, okay? DNA spaces C, extend, and ACT. So you'll see in blue what we've seen, the behavioral metrics right now, impact, camera metrics, open roaming, and so on. In the DNA extend, it includes DNA C plus API, Partner App Center, monitoring of APIs, the dashboard, the streaming, and the data export. And then the Space ACT, which is actually the largest, the biggest type of DNA license, where it will also include extend and C, and would have asset locator, density trigger, this message saying, okay, the room occupancy is higher, please close the door. Location analytics advanced, location SDK beta, location of personas, engagement, captive portals, voilà. So all of these. And the next one is also important. So you have three types, how you can actually have this licensing. If you have legacy devices that, for example, Aeronet, that do not have CMX or anything, you can buy a la carte, and also Meraki, okay? You can buy a la carte that's licensed with software Swiss embedded subscription DNA spaces with the standard pricing. Now you can also use the DNA center type of license, base, advantage, premier, and go the next slide is going to be deeper on that, and actually you bundle with extra type of licenses. And then you have this enterprise agreement where you can have for large big deals for large Cisco wireless customer, which can be quite interesting financially. So and that's also part of the call out of today, is if you already have, for example, Cisco DNA Advantage of Premier, you have already the DNA Spaces C license, okay? Or the extend in the case of the Premier, which also includes the C. So use it. So really have it, okay? So you have here, Essential does not have any DNA Spaces license. The Advantages and the Premier, they do. ACT is on top of. So if you want to have ACT, you will need to have an upgrade type of license to include that. So, okay, so voilà, the DNA Premier and Advantage. Voilà, so it's DNA. Yeah, from this space, DNA spaces Act is still included. Okay, advantages is I didn't know that. So yeah, if you have DNA premier, go. I would say don't wait. Start deploying it. If you have DNA advantage, you can have this upgrade, like I said. So the call to action I have is voila. So it works with anything. It works with Meraki. It works with Aeronet. It works with Catalyst 9K, with some WebEx endpoints, with some limited capabilities. So really make use of it. Meraki is the things you have in the analytics is quite limited. So here you can really go deeper on that. Try it on dclouds. So it's available. The demo I showed is available for all partners and for all Cisco people and for activate today the C and extend from DNA Advantage or Premier license. And you can definitely also use a 30-day trial license for free. So you have this this link as well to ask for your trial. So you'll get what you'll get the slide deck and all the informations. And I think voila, I'm ending here, and actually I'm opening up the floor to all of you if you have any questions. Do we have questions in the chat? No. Okay. Was it a good session? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Okay.
It was really good. Like the thing is that there are so many things in the DNA spaces that it requires some time and maybe some questions afterwards, you know, to get all the information, because it's a really powerful tool.
It's a powerful tool. Indeed, Susanna, very good call out. And actually, really today, play with it. Play with, like I did with on dclouds. You have basically it's pretty easy. Yeah? So if I go on dclouds. Voila. So if I go here on dclouds, so let me go back to see how I came to that. If you go on catalog, and then you just go for DNA spaces, voila, and then you search for it, you come right directly to the DNA spaces instant demo. Okay, so dcloud.cisco.com, catalog, then DNA spaces, you come to this page, and actually before starting the view, go to related documents, and then you have this demo guide. And the demo guide will guide you to all the different tools you can get on the DNA spaces. Whenever you get used to it, it will flow and it will actually go easier for you. We can also ask someone to demo it for you, but basically it's pretty straightforward if you follow the demo guide. Okay, just click there and then it's you. Voilà. Any other questions? Okay. So what you'll get, thank you all. Voilà. What you'll get from us is this slide deck. And oh, I'm the wrong. I am in the wrong deck. Sorry for that. Okay. This one is correct because and be safe. Huh? Voilà. And in the backup slide, you'll see also all the ordering. So some idea on the pricing and some ordering. Voilà, how to order it. But definitely, if you already have Advantage of Premier, you don't need to order anything because it's there. And it's also, if you need any support for pre-sales, just contact us. No problem. Okay,
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you all, and I think it's top of the hour, so thank you for participating to this webinar. You'll get a survey, by the way, the survey tomorrow, so you can rate the webinar. Okay, and it's been recorded, so I will send the recording as well. Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Yeah, stay safe. Bye-bye.